Hey my friends, it's your friend Kevin here with today's Divine Daily Blast. Let's get right to it. We are in an Angel Numerology number 9 day today. That is about making declarations, the endings of cycles, the ceasing of procrastination, a declaration to lift off, and off you jolly well go. There's a number of things coming close, and if this is not your reality, if you're not closing off things, finishing things, completing things, be mindful of what perhaps needs to be closed off and completed. You'll do well to investigate whatever is ending in your life or around you, with the expressed idea of finding out what it is you've learned. And I've got the message from Serapis Bay about how things are coming to an end and they're finishing, but we've got to learn something from them. So also today the moon is shifted into the gentle sign of Libra, and it's asking us to consider the incredible relationships that we've got, being mindful of the work that we're putting in and the work that they're putting in, and asking ourselves if we're truly invested in doing our part to sustain and deepen and strengthen those relationships. And that can simply mean reaching out, having a cup of coffee, letting somebody know, listen, you are very important to me, and I don't want to lose that strength, or I don't want to lose whatever it is you don't want to lose, whatever it is you don't want to end. All right, my isms. I am grateful and abundantly blessed. This comes from our friend of the channel, Mary Sue, who sent this along probably a year or so ago. It's a lovely one. It pops up every so often as I shuffle through my isms. I am patient and I am forgiveness. So if you are looking at some of those relationships that perhaps have gone onto fallow ground, or maybe you haven't touched base with them, own up to it. Just let them know, I've been thinking about you, and I feel like I might have let you down, or I feel like I might have let our relationship down, or I feel like I may have, not been as invested as I should have been. There's all kinds of reasons why people's relationships pop off. They don't get reinvented or reinvested, or they don't get reworked. Doesn't mean to say it's terrible, or you don't like them, or there's something that's happened. It just means that the energy's gone up under the bridge and there's a different set of water coming. So just check in. You never know. All right, and the other one comes from our other friend of the channel, Joanna Pantases, however you want to say it. I am intentional and clear. I am manifesting my desires with ease and joy. That's a declaration in itself. Being intentional and clear about your manifestations. Being intentional and clear about your desires. Being intentional and clear about where joy is. And that also includes not putting up with no sense. Something doesn't make sense, you don't have to put up with it. You certainly don't have to accept it. Here's a message from our guardian angels today. They say, ask for help to release the fear-based stories you tell yourself. Let us replace them with the magic that was meant for you. I am the author of my own fairy tale. My life is a story of love, adventure, and magic. Being the author of your own fairy tale is exactly where you're supposed to be. Looking at your life as a story of love and adventure and magic is exactly where you're supposed to be. Now, Serapis Bay is with us all week, guiding us through the paradigm shift. And he's also reminding us that this is a time of change, out with the old, in with the new. It's not a call to discard traditions, but look on what we've learned and how things can grow. This is an invitation to move things forward. Sometimes we can resist the changes that are taking place. We can be a little bit like, this is not what I signed up for. But the universe is encouraging us to know through Serapis Bey's message, if you do resist the changes when they come, it's going to be difficult for you to adapt. So don't hide or run or, get all into a tizzy. Meet these changes with grace. And there are changes that are going to affect a lot of people, a lot of communities. I would just sit quietly, ask yourself and your higher being, how do I feel about these changes? And spirits, angels, fairies, guides, my inner being, my higher being, let me be the author of my own fairy tale. Let my life story become about love, adventure, and magic. Guide me into that energy. When we do that, any change that comes up works with that vibrational energy, and that's what we want. The light beings, they are our angelic activators. Create space for learning new. This is all about newness. This is all about working on the complete bigger picture. I'm going to hear what the fairy blessing is. Now, this is a different deck from what I was using before. This is manifesting with the fairies, which I'm understanding is all about using the fairy magic to create the energy, to create the subject, to create the folder, if you will, for what we should learn and what we should know. One more time, okay. Gertrude Beatrice, I haven't heard from you in a week or so, and I'm getting a bit concerned because where are you gone? They're deep inside their woodland hollow. What they're telling me is that things are growing rapidly. The heat of the summer sun up in the northern hemisphere, which is where we all are, is playing a bit of a role. So they're staying close to ground, underground, as we all meander these changes. Now let's see what the card is. Sensitivity. We see our fairy friend. Ooh. Making friends with the unicorn. But you look, the unicorn is using its horn to connect with the third eye center of our fairy friend. And they're having what I would consider to be a sensitive embrace. And it kind of goes along with what Gertrude and Beatrice are doing deep in their woodland hollow, where they're connecting with all the animal world. Now listen, fairies, they work with Mother Nature, they work with Mother Earth, they work with all of the animal world, bunny rabbits, other fairies, flies, dragonflies, doves, birds. And so they're helping to keep that entire woodland community safe from harm, safe from deforestation. And as we know, they're just as nervous about the changes that are coming up as we are. They're just as sensitive about what's happening as we are. Their natural habitat is either burned through wildfire, flooded through the overflow of rivers. So their energy, just as ours are, is right now anchoring the love, the light, the peace, tranquility, all of them, all the wildlife is being what can I say, challenged at this time. So we're being asked by the fairies to accept our sensitive side as we go through these changes in life and being sensitive to our superpowers. You know, the unicorns are the rarest of creatures, and they're very much attached to the fairy king, because the fairy king is highly sensitive, and unicorns by nature are pure and sensitive. They take themselves highly seriously, if you will, and they can reside in the heavenly realm and the fairy realm at the same time. They're also comfortable in both these realms. And the magical pair of the fairy king and the unicorn or exchanging energies like this with the horn of the third eye center to connect with that sensitivity. So the king of sensitivity today is wishing us the full embrace of our sensitive side and to implement the quality in our daily life. The message he brings is that it's more than okay to express our sensitive side, our vulnerable side, our worrisome side, and you shouldn't allow the opinions of others to suppress it. We all know about being sensitive, but we just need to be sensitive to other people as well. Those relationships we were talking about. This isn't to say that you shouldn't prioritize each other over your own. Let your priorities start with yourself and then bellow out. Let the people in your life know that you're responsive and you're working with their sensitivity too. And if you want an affirmation, here it is. I am sensitively aligned with all beings in all places, in all things, in all matter of time and space, including myself. My sensitivity comes to me easily. My sensitivity is my superpower. That's a lovely affirmation. My sensitivity is my superpower. Here's what I know about that. When I feel vulnerable and sensitive, which is very different to having a pity party, that's still vulnerable and sensitive. When I'm feeling vulnerable and sensitive, I can tend to withdraw, get with my higher being, ask that they heal my heart, fill me with love, ground my feet to the earth, lift my head to the heavens, and just heal all that needs to be healed. All right, my friends, I think that's it from me for today. Until tomorrow, much love. Thank you. Liking, subscribing, doing all the things that you do. Our numbers are slowly climbing. But that's okay, as long as they're climbing and they're not reclining. All right? Until tomorrow. Bye for now.